Welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben. This is my review for Netflix's new original South African series, Unseen. Let me know in the comments, have you heard about this one? I was excited to watch something that's coming from South Africa. There's been a few things there that have piqued my interest as to the way cinema and filming is going, because it's been stuck for a while in a certain way of filming techniques. And now, since Netflix and other, I guess, networks have been pushing forward to bring up the quality as far as I'm concerned, there's been few that have been really great. That's not to say that South African cinema hasn't been good before. There's been films like Tootsie, which was incredible, but sometimes when I watch some of them, they aren't as up to par or of the rest of the world, and that can be said about a lot of places in the world. And so I was very excited to see what Netflix was going to do in collaboration, or whether they bought this series and they wanted to go, yeah, this is good enough for our brand. And let's face it, not everything on Netflix is great, so it's really up to your personal opinion, but I wanted to check it out. Let's talk about it. Unseen is a thought-provoking crime thriller about a timid and seemingly common cleaning lady, Zenzi Mwale, who, while undertaking a desperate search for her husband, who went missing after his release from prison, unexpectedly commits the murder of a crime syndicate's key player. This was a really interesting premise. There's only 6 episodes, about 45 minutes apiece, and it starts off with just like the general day-to-day, a day in the life of a cleaner, until she comes to understanding that her husband, who she was meant to meet at prison, coming out of that, loves her husband. Something went wrong in their past, and that's really what the story is about. What happened in the past that makes her end up in this place where she's had to kill someone. And then you get the conspiracies, and I really like the story. I think the story is well thought out, it's well planned. Apparently there's a similar story that they've kind of adapted from it. I haven't seen that, but this one, I thought it was done well, especially where it's located and filmed in Cape Town and various places there. I think aesthetically very pleasing, the cinematography, the way it's filmed, high quality, good drama, and for the most part, good acting. There are some dialogue lines in here where some of the actors have had to deliver dialogue lines that just isn't believable, or you wouldn't say in that moment. And so there was some times some of the acting kind of took me out of it, going, oh, that just doesn't sit right. But for the most part, especially our protagonist, you are on our protagonist's side. You are willing her to discover what has happened to her family, why she's ended up in this predicament, but also at the same time, she ends up in places where you wouldn't expect a cleaning lady, or a wife and a mother, to end up in amongst the kind of the worst of the worst. And that's a really interesting story to see how she survives from day to day, how she unravels the mystery, and who of those you can trust. So like I said, there's a varying degrees of people's acting abilities in this, and for the most part I think you'll find it fine, and then sometimes good and sometimes not great. So there's a cornucopia of degrees of filmmaking techniques with the acting and dialogue that I think you will stick around because you want to know the ending. The ending for me was different. I think it's going to split fans. I think the story is unique enough for you to want to watch to the end, but when you get to the end, I think it's definitely going to split some people, going, why did you end it like that? I'd love to know, once you've watched all the 6 episodes, let me know your thoughts and feelings down below. For the most part, I was very satisfied with it. I think it is drawn out a bit. It does have a little bit of a soap nature to it. Some of the drama is stretched out. Some of those scenes that they play on in some of those scenes where they go from one place to the next could totally be cut out. I literally sighed, because in one episode, I think it was even the last episode, episode 6, where there were scenes where our character was being followed from a car to a house to a gate, and literally you could have just cut from the car to the place that she was at, and it didn't really further the story. So there's definitely some of that soap type of drama storytelling, dragging it out a little bit. I think if it was sharper, like 4 episodes out of the 6, it would have been a much tighter story. But for the most part, I actually really had a good time with this. I think it's thrilling enough for you to want to find out what happens. So I'm going to give this 3 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
And you got one. Congratulations.
Let me know your thoughts and feelings down below about this series. What is your favorite South African series or movie ever? I think Tootsie is still my favorite. Love seeing the accents, the mix of language in here that just is part of the culture, and the aesthetically pleasing places that it is shot in amongst, you know, culture and life and people. I think it works well for the story that they're trying to tell. So I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.